teachers will ride with us on Friday mornings.
So, okay, so what happens is that you're leading the group, and we've got photos of some of your events here, so you can tell us about those too. But
so this is just one of the Friday.
so this is okay. So this is what you're describing. So this is after arriving at school.
So it's after school. So it's
After
not in the
school.
morning.
Okay.
It's at the end of the day.
All right.
So that's just the monthly. So the third Friday of the month we do this.
Okay, and then just go ahead and tell me.
And
about
this is the bike rodeo. So once a year we also hold a bike rodeo where all the kids bring their bikes to school. So we'll have like 300 bikes. I think there's a picture of all the bikes laid out as well. Yep, there.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
So yeah, all the kids bring their bikes to school, and it's really cool because Bay Bikes comes and they tune up every single bike.
Really?
So
wow.
they've got an assembly line
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
getting them all tuned up.
And honestly, looking at this reminds me of if you were in another community or another country where bicycling is so prevalent.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like on the streets all
Yeah.
the time, right? So to see that here in our community, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's an awesome achievement.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's our big bike rodeo that we do once a year in May. And this is our other, in October once a year, we do the Festival of Feet, which is the walking version of the bike rodeo. So we talk about pedestrian safety.
Right.
And this is also just one of our monthly events after school,
Okay.
where the third Friday of the month, where the kids that walk or bike to school that day get smoothies and stickers and stuff after school.
So there's a little incentive there.
Yeah.
And do you find with your kids and also with the other kids, as you said, they would find it more fun if they were doing it,
Yeah.
right, with some of their friends?
So I find the biggest incentive is just, talking to people. So like the fruit and the stickers and stuff, that's not really necessary. It makes it fun.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing is like, I'll text a bunch of parents the night before and be like, we're biking tomorrow.
Right.
Bring your kid. And the kids get excited about it. And I think the key is getting the teachers involved
Right.
and getting the kids excited about it.
Right. And the
So-
parents, how
and the
comfortable
parents.
are the parents with, because your bike ride is from what is New Monterey, Pacific Grove, along the rec trail to basically down Del Monte Avenue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing about the kids being protected and safe, because that would be a concern, I would think, for some parents thinking, how is this going to work? So do you want to explain that?
Well, a lot of parents, they'll drop their kids off with us, and it's all on the bike path, so it's
Right.
very safe. And what I've found is some kids actually, they'll start. The parents will drive them and drop them off with us, and then they'll figure out that it's not that bad. It's not that bad of a ride. So
Right.
they might start riding from a little bit farther. And I've had some kids who would start riding from home. Where they started out driving to meet us.
Right.
And so they figure out, this isn't that bad.
Right.
Getting to school on a bike isn't that hard. It's not that big
Remember
of a
the
deal.
day when people used to do it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think the biggest thing is, the teachers are really supportive at Bayview.
Yes.
It's a great community.
Yes.
And all the teachers and staff are really supportive. So even the ones that don't bike, they'll remind the kids, oh, don't forget to bike tomorrow. And, so the kids will take it home to their parents and be like, oh, I want to bike. My
Right.
friends are biking.
Right.
So I think the key is to just get a community together that, where everybody's excited about doing it.
Right.
And I think coming from the teachers, that's the big thing.
And
because-
in terms of the parents, do you see any of that going beyond, the kids, sort of, sometimes, the babes will lead them. So
Yeah.
in this case, are any of the kids, you think, leading their parents into maybe being a little bit more active with them in that regard and their
Yeah.
own personal family time?
I'm sure they are, and it also, so I'm more involved in the elementary school right now because
Obviously,
my kids
yes.
aren't in middle school yet. But I think even more when they get to the middle school, the kids get more, you get more independent, and you get a lot of kids who bike
Right.
by themselves to school.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. I mean, the bike racks are full at the middle school because the parents, they're like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. You can get yourself to school.
Right.
and that also gets, over the summer, a lot of the parents were biking with their kids to,
Right.
to test it out and see how the ride went. So
Right.
that gets the parents more involved too, because you're like, oh, I got to check up on them every once in a
Right.
while and make sure everybody's still being safe biking. So it gets
Sure.
the parents out there some, and I get parents that ride with us as well in the elementary school.
Right.
So they'll come to meet us, and sometimes the parents will come with us. And
Well, if anybody wanted to start a similar program at their school, they can contact Bayview Academy, and,
Yeah,
and
and-
they can get the number from there and learn how to reach you if
Yeah.
they're interested.
yeah,
All right.
they will give me get them in touch with me.
All right. Well, perfect.
So.
Mindy, thank you so much for being here.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks
so
for
we're going to
having
go
me.
to a break, and as we go, we'll put up some more information on your screen. You see it there of how to reach Bayview Academy, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. We are back, and at the top of the show, I told you that I hope that you will be inspired by my guest who are here. So let me introduce to you my next guest. This is Adisa Vaughn. Adisa, thank you very much for being here.
Thank
and
you.
when I read and heard about what you were doing, you and your family, I was like, this is the coolest thing. So tell me about Families of Color Monterey County.
So Families of Color, we're just a grassroots organization that we're just trying to start and just build up for people in the community to just, be empowered to speak up for themselves, be empowered to do a lot of different things in the community that we need. And we center Black and brown families mostly, so.
Yeah. Okay, so you're centered around bicycling. So what
That
happened? What
too.
inspired you? That's
My
part of
son,
it. But,
yes.
But that was the initial start. So what was it that
My
started
son, we
this?
got him a bike when he was a year old.
Yes.
And when he started walking, he tried it, but it was too big for him.
Okay.
When he got to 15 months, he started on his bike. And it's
Right.
a balance bike that has no pedals or anything. It's just brakes, and he started walking. And by 18 months, he started gliding.
Right. And so when Lauren was out with him and you were out with him, what did you recognize that you said, you know what, this concerns me, this is a problem, we as a family are going to do something about it? So what happened?
We saw no families riding. There were no kids riding on the bike trail. We come to the bike trail and you just see men in tights riding their bikes.
Mm-hmm.
And you see families riding, but there weren't any kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just like, there's a need for this.
And there was also the issue about diversity, because that's the name of your organization, Families of Color. So as an African American man, what is it with the diversity? What did you see that or what you didn't see?
Yeah. I didn't see anything. We went to a biking event out in Fort Ord one time, and myself and my two sons, we were the only blacks, the only people of color there. Everything else was just white. And we met a black man there, and he just introduced us into, hey, you should come and do this event. I work for TAMC, come check us out. You can be, league cycling instructors. And we worked with him, and sure enough, it just went from there. It really took off from there.
So why is that so important to you? Why do you feel like, obviously, because there's not, you don't see, it's not as diverse. And what are the benefits? What is the enjoyment that you get out of it? And why do you think that's so critical?
Well, I just think of it as like when I grew up, my mother didn't ride. My father rode, but he lived in Sacramento. And so it wasn't a time where I could ride with him. But when I lived in Sacramento, I'd see a lot of, black people riding. I'd see a lot of people of color out there riding. But down here, there was nothing like that. And so what inspired me was the need to be able to see people that looked like me, for my son to see people that looked like his dad, looked like himself, riding bikes. And so we just said, hey, let's kind of see if there's anybody in the community that we can get that looked like him that would like to ride bikes. Because we know that there's a population of, poor people and so that's what we centered toward.
Right. So there are some pictures I want to put up on the screen, because out of that desire and out of that need, you have it's a grassroots organization, but you do a lot of things now. So we're going to put the photos up and just tell people all the kinds of things that you guys do.
So what you see right here is on Sundays, every Sunday, the first 3 Sundays of the month, especially starting in May, what we do is we do a bike camp. And so for any kids that want to come, we welcome them to come, and we just do training. So right here you see a small little ramp where kids feel, at ease to just kind of help themselves glide down. They practice gliding down there. And as you can see, there's some cones that this is the way that you're going to go. So we kind of put them curved so that they can learn how to balance.
And this is a balance bike that you're talking about.
Yes.
So it does not have any pedals on it.
There's no pedals, there's no chains, there's nothing besides handlebars, tires, and a handbrake, because we don't believe in the normal handbrake that you have on tricycles. We believe in, using the handbrake.
Kids learning the skills that they're going to need as they get older.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is and we can just go through these photos fairly quickly.
And so that's my son Asante, and he, as you can see, his feet are kicked up and he's gliding down one of the hills.
Right.
And so he can use his handbrake and stop whenever he wants.
Okay. And so these camps are set up. Is there a cost? And because you're a grassroots organization, so talk about the business support that you get to do this, because what are you guys doing?
The business aspect of it is we don't make any money off of it.
Right.
We're doing this for low-income families. So if you can pay, great. If you can't pay, that's fine. What we want to have is people come with their kids, like fathers like this, coming and helping out their children, and teaching them to ride. And as you see right here, this was our last camp that we had, and we had about, I think, 47 people there. It might have been 47 or 60 people there.
Right.
Yes. So.
And so you get donations, like if, for example, the people that you were reaching out to, they may not have bikes or they may not have helmets. So how are you supplying these kinds of things?
So we work with the city of Monterey. They've helped us with helmets, but also with the companies, some of the helmets that they have there, Burn, which is one of the people that my wife has talked to, and they have supplied us with helmets, although we pay for them, though, out of our own pocket.
Okay.
So we do pay for them, but the parents pay for them also. We just recommend that these are the helmets that you get for children.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So out of this, you've started with this, and then that's adorable, and it's along one of the rec trails, right? The dunes there, it looks like.
Yes,
or the Asilomar.
I think that's the Asilomar.
So,
yes.
So that is what you're inspiring. You're trying to inspire people who traditionally may not get out and be out and take advantages of the place that we live, and plus bonding with your family, right?
Exactly, because I think that's what makes this community so beautiful, is that we have the area, but if you can blend that with family time.
Yes.
Because my family and I were very into family time, and riding a bike is very important. And so we feel like if that child can ride with his mother and father, or she can ride with the mother and father, then hey, now you have perfect bonding time, and then also push a child to sleep too if you have a baby.
All the benefits.
Exactly.
D7, thank you so much
for